makes it a good place for diving in the fall and winter. The sea terrain from Guanchan to Wanlitong is mostly made up of craggy interlaced reefs that are close to the shore. Farther out, the coral reef is interspersed with sandy sea bottom. The barren-looking sandy seafloor actually hides a great deal of life. With no place to hide, the creatures that live here must find creative means to keep themselves safe. Stingrays are a predator commonly seen on the sandy floor. Their gray eyes allow them to easily hide on the flat sandy bottom, where they expose only their eyes to monitor their surroundings. There are also sea anemones living on the sandy bottom. Of course, their neighbors, the clownfish, are also present. The brightly colored saddleback Amphiprion polymnus is a rarely seen tropical clownfish, as it can only be found in the area around Kending National Park. Near the anemones are a forest of suspension-feeding Phyrella fragilis that open up their branch-like tentacles to catch plankton in the current, sending the food into their mouths. In all of Taiwan, this peculiar and rare sea cucumber can only be found near Wanlitong and Namwan. The most fascinating creature on the sandy sea bottom is the left-eye flounders.
Left-eye flounders.
The left-eye flounders likes to stay flat on the bottom of the sea. Its eyes can migrate over to the single side of its head during its growth in a peculiar adaptation to its environment, making it look like something out of a Picasso painting. The left-eye flounders also has a rare kind of chameleon-like skill. It observes the surrounding environment and changes the color and texture of its body accordingly. It can perfectly mimic any surface, whether it is sandy sea floor or a coral reef. In an adaptation to a sandy environment, some species of coral can actually survive on soft sand.
Sea
This feather-like sea pen is a type of sea star. Its anthozoa are distributed in the two sides of the quill, forming a web shape which catches plankton in the current. Isolated reefs in the ocean are always the best habitat for sea creatures. So these places on the sandy bottom are a gathering place for many types of creatures. This is an isolated reef at a depth of 20 meters to the west of Shanghai Harbor. Around the isolated reef is a vast expanse of sandy sea bottom. There are countless sea goldies surrounding the isolated reef. All kinds of beautiful butterfishes, common blue-striped snapper, damselfish, and parrotfish freely swim around. To the east of the area around Namwan is the Taoxia Coast, with its its jagged, intersecting coral reefs. The water depth here is only about 10 meters. The coral grows very thick here. The Acroporte is especially impressive, with its interlacing branches, which stretch out over a wide area. Large four-line terrapons can be seen in great numbers in these staghorn coral communities. They float above the corals, and as their scales glisten and shimmer, they seem like clouds passing over the rolling hills of coral. The four-line terrapon is a fish that likes to swim in schools. It is widely distributed in shallow coral reef areas all around Taiwan, but it only appears in such large numbers around Taoshi Coast. The beautiful environment of the Taoshi Coast is under pressure from recreational activities of the nearby area around Anwan. To protect this marine ecosystem, the National Park established the Taoshi Coast as a marine ecological model area in 2008, relying on local residents to participate in conservation efforts. Well, the most important aspect of the Taoshi Coast Marine Ecological Model Area are the schools of four-line terrapons. These schools of terrapons feed and spawn here in groups of thousands, and they spawn here from winter to summer. Therefore, it is hoped that the ecological area can be like a fishery bank for Kending National Park, or even for the whole of Hangchun Peninsula. So, the way we look at it is, the bigger the bank gets, and the larger the protected area is, it gives us hope. We have more hope for the sustainable use of resources, and more hope for the future.
所以我们想，银行做的越大，保区越大，那我们的资源的永续利用会更有希望。